Check, 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 check. I don't know if you know that Linkin Park song from back in the day. It's pretty old school. All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome. Today we're going to do a bit of a mixture of exercises. The format that we've been doing doing this is because we have a video stream. You're able to review, look back at some of these things, and so when we try to fit a lot of it in, we sort of miss some of the reps and sets together. So what I'm going to do is go through only a partial amount of the sets, but I'll give you the set ranges so that you can either pause the video or stop it and go back, or complete it at your own time. Well, we'll start with the warm-up that we do every week. Air squats, going to as low as we can. If you need something to help you get down further, that's fine. So let's do 10 of these, all the way up, all the way down. Very important that we go as low as we possibly can. 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, we go Russian squats, and that's all. Just being able to anchor and secure your body in some way to your feet, so that you're able to try and attempt to straighten your legs and keep your stomach touching your thighs, which first thing in the morning is very difficult, but it's very much the point of it, even for the coaches. Ten of these. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Cool. We're going to do our inchworm now. Bounce 3 times to our lowest position. Cool, and then we're going to walk our feet into our hands, pressing our heels to the floor, pressing through our shoulders, looking at our hands, and bounce again. 1, 2, 3. Trying to relax our pelvis when we do this. That's not tucked out, but tucked under into a pelvic tuck. Go over here, a little bit more grippy than the carpet. Three, 4, 5. Cool. From there, we're going to lay down on our mat. Going to use a medium to moderate weight as an anchor point for our hands overhead. And we're going to fold over in the pike position, bringing our legs over our head as far as we can, being careful of any pain in our neck. There may likely be some discomfort. It might be uncomfortable. It's because we're warming up and stretching first thing, maybe in the morning. But try and keep your hands straight overhead. Bring your legs over. And slowly going back down and over. Now your range might be far less over the body as I am here, but really just concentrate on softening your back and lowering it down nice and controlled. You can hear my voice. There's a slight change as I'm having to work through that position. 10 reps in your own time. Cool. Just while you're completing your 10 reps, I'm going to quickly do a costume change. Repeat that round once more together, and then you're going to do it once more on your own. So 10 air squats. I'm going to move through this fairly quickly. And air squats, followed by Russian squats. And we're going to try and pull ourselves in between our legs, keeping our stomach touching our thighs. Cool. 10 of those into my inchworm. So like I said, at any point, if you need to pause the video, more than welcome to, especially if you'd like to watch and get visual information feedback. It's very helpful to watch things a couple of times, give it a try yourself, watch again, give it another try, and then see if you can think about the audible cues that you should be following. Bouncing 3 times, exhaling your breath, reaching and walking your hands out in front, pressing your heels actively towards the floor, tucking your pelvis underneath you. So that's just an example of hearing all the information as well as thinking about it and then applying it for yourself. I'm going to leave my reps there, but when we've got fold over, do another 10 reps of this. And yeah, like I said, it may be, especially at the speed that I'm taking through this circuit, you need to slow it down a little bit, especially for these 10 reps. More than welcome to. Certainly, we're not trying to rush the reps. There's a lot of value in going slow and listening to your body and having that awareness of where tension is when we're moving through our lower back. So yeah, take your time. You can keep your legs straight. Awesome. Nice patient reps. Cool. So to reiterate, you have 10 air squats, 10 Russian squats, 5 inchworm, and 10 fold over. And so we're not writing it on there, so you actually have to listen to the instructions. I want you to perform that for one more set, but we're going to move on to the next group of exercises. Cool. So for this, we're going to start with our wrist drills. Always important to look after our wrists. We're going to start with palm raises. So our first knuckle raises, palm raises, pushing our knuckles into the floor, fingers splayed nice and wide, hands are underneath the shoulder. And it's as if we're doing calf raises, but doing them for our forearms. And a major or a key component people miss with this exercise is it should be challenging and slightly uncomfortable. The ligaments and tendons and muscles in your fingers and in your hand and in your forearm are far less significant, far less easy to train. We have to put them under some kind of duress load, stress, in order for them, in order for our body to respond. Wherever is uncomfortable and challenging in your reps, that's where you're headed for, but try not to just bounce like this. You're not going to get anything out of it. You want it to be challenging, so especially if you can control the ascent as well as descent. So up and then lowering down, up, down, up, lowering down, up, lowering down, up, lowering down. Cool. We're going to reverse that. So our fingers facing backwards, and this is completely dependent on your mobility in your hands and your fingers. It might be far less than where I am, but that's okay. That's everywhere. Everyone starts somewhere. And you're going to break at the elbows, trying to keep your knuckles intact with the floor, and then press, lock out, and straighten. Palms come off the floor. Attempt to keep my fingers and knuckles down on the floor. Lock out and straighten. Press through my hands. Do this about 20 times. You can see that my knees are very close to my hands. People make quite a large gap, it seems, almost in every class that I do. People are super far back and then wondering how on earth they're meant to bring their elbows to their thighs or towards their thighs. Bring your knees nice and close. Okay? Push through your hands. Understand how to load your hands. You'll feel it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Cool. From here, I've created a little incline step, and I'm going to use this. But if you don't have something to create like that, you can just use a dumbbell and put your foot on the dumbbell like so that your foot is in dorsiflexion. I just like doing it with a little bit of a plate. Looks a little bit nicer. Put your foot in dorsiflexion here. I'm going to take another slightly slightly medium to light weight. We're going to hold that behind the leg that's in the dorsiflexion position, and we're going to bounce towards the floor. We're going to do this 30 times on each leg. You should feel a massive stretch through the leg that is in that flexion position, the front leg. So all through the back of your leg. Try and keep your back straight and breathing soft so your abdomen is soft as well. We're doing about 30 pulses here. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 9, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Cool. Swapping the weights around, and we're going to do that on the opposite side. Good. The more that I can have my foot in dorsiflexion, so the higher the angle, or the more acute the angle, the better the stretch is for me. So don't be lazy with it and have your angle like that. And it's just your toes facing the roof. Really try and get your foot as high as possible. Or if you're just using a dumbbell, try and get your toes as high as possible so that you can get the most out of this. It's not meant to be a walk in Northbridge or a walk to the pub. It's meant to be uncomfortable and challenging so we actually get some kind of stimulus response for our body. Another 30 pulses on this side of this dorsiflexion pulse. Oh, it's just started raining. I really hope my windows are up. I'm pretty sure they're up. Sometimes I'm a bit forgetful. I might leave a little bit of a gap down. Pray for me, people. 1 share, 1 like equals 1 prayer for my windows being up while it rains outside and I forget where my reps are. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Cool. We're going to come back to that. We're going to find our bench or somewhere comfortable. You can use the couch. Yoga blocks, simply so that we can push our arms together and hold on to something. And we're going into a trilat stretch or a tricep lat, bit of a serratus stretch as well. Holding the yoga block behind our head, walking our legs back, tucking our tailbone, and then driving our chest down without compromising our head position. Without tucking my head down to try and exaggerate range. Keeping my head fairly neutral inside my shoulders and driving my chest down. I'm doing this for about 30 seconds. You can count in your own head. I'm about 15 seconds left. Two, 1. Carefully coming out of it. Which is like 20, 30 seconds. I wrote that for Gary, that's fine, he understands it. Cool, so with the wrist drills, you have 20 first knuckle raises, so palm raises. So coming up with your palm, like this, up, down, and you need to think of it as if you're doing a calf raise. So up on my toes, slow down is going to be better than going up and then simply dropping. And you can even see how the energy just went through my body then when I simply let go of control and just dropped. So I want you to control up and down. So through the arm, up slowly, down slowly. All right, make it uncomfortable. We then have 20 reps in the reverse position. Bending our elbows, allowing our palms to come back, attempting to keep our fingers and our knuckles on the floor, straightening our arms and locking them out at the end of it. Cool, so complete 20 reps of the first knuckle raises and the reverse palm raises. And then we're into our dorsi bounces or dorsiflexion bounces. I'm going to do this without the weight plate to demonstrate what it would look like if I was just using a dumbbell, a hex dumbbell that I have here. So let's see if we can muck around with the shadows. There we go. So you can see how much of an angle my foot is in. Good. I'm getting this weight, holding it behind my front leg, leaning forward, straight back, and I'm going to bounce, trying to get my stomach to touch my thigh about 30 times. 10, 2, 4, 6, 10. Whoop, got to keep my balance. See, if you start to lose focus, you'll fall over. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. Cool, swapping to the other side. So yeah, making sure that you're keeping focus with what you're doing. There's a lot of exercise programs out there that seem to have people try to switch off. When we're trying to connect with our body, really, you want to have that awareness of how your body's moving in space, you know. Cool, so another 30 on the opposite side, nice and high toe. So lots of flexion in my foot and feeling that deep stretch run through, all through the back of my leg. 10, 1, 3, 6, 7, 10, 1, 3, 4, 6, 7, 10. Cool, coming up. And I've said, if you need to pause or if you need to stop the video so that you can complete the reps with a little bit more patience, yeah, there's no problem. Just pause, have a look back over, complete the reps. Going on to our butcher's block stretch now. So about 20 seconds here. You have to get into the position first before you start to count. So please be aware that just picking up the yoga block doesn't start the 20 seconds. Get yourself into position, pressing and holding the yoga block, trying to squeeze it as if I was trying to pop it. Walk my legs back, tuck my tailbone, elevate my shoulders, and then try to drive my chest to the floor. And keeping my elbows pressing inward, which is a form of external rotation. Eighteen, 18, 19, 20. Cool, coming out of it. Cool, so you're going to repeat those exercises, that round, for another 2 sets. So the first group of exercises, we had 3 sets. This one, you're going to do 4 sets. So you've got 2 more to do without me, so you can pause the video or simply just go back to the start where we do 2 rounds together. And now we're going to move into our second group of exercises. Cool. Cool. So first we have Powell's. I just need to grab a different weight. Cool, so you may need to experiment a little bit with the weight in this one. This one I want you to use a moderate to light weight. Going too heavy will mean that you compromise the movement and you don't do it with the full benefits. You'll bend your arm, you'll drop your shoulder, you'll move it, and it'll be more like a chicken wing. What we want is a straight arm position. We're going to be lying on our side on the bench, and in this straight arm I want to depress my scapula and my shoulder, and we're going to do a fly in a sort of inclined position while keeping my shoulder and serratus and my lat down and shoulder depressed as much as I can. So I'm going to demonstrate now. And for this I've got a 4 kilo weight. So I'm going to demonstrate with the 4 kilo weight. I go for a little bit heavier, but I've been doing that for a little while. You can also do this on the floor. I'm doing it on the bench, so I want to make sure I've got my arms straight, my shoulder and scapula are depressed, and then I'm opening up very slowly. And it's very important that I keep my shoulder and scapula in the same position. up, overhead, keep my shoulder pressing down and depressed as I go through this. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Cool. Swap over to the opposite side. So even with the 4 kilo, that was pretty challenging while I was trying to talk through it. So if you are bending in that position, or if you feel your shoulder coming out of that depressed, locked position, so you see I'm pulling my shoulder down. If you feel like you're breaking the posture, then you need to lower the weight so that you can maintain it. And that is really important because the weight is entirely relative to the muscle groups that we're trying to work on. It's not like just pick up the heaviest thing and fling it around, because you're going to use muscle groups that we're not trying to work on. And these ones are really specific to protect your shoulders and your back through some of the exercises that we might do in bodyweight training, such as using the rings, handstands, levers, that kind of stuff. So again, grabbing the weight plate, I'm going to have a nice straight arm. I'm going to try and lock it out, even locking out my tricep as much as possible. I'm going to depress or pull my shoulder down, engage my lats and my serratus, and open up nice and wide, keeping my shoulder in that position. Five. And 6. Cool. Probably using that same weight. We're going to come down onto the floor to do an open Cuban rotation. So I have my knee out to the side of the body. I'm going to have my elbow resting on that knee, and I want everything to be parallel. I'm then going to rotate my elbow down and forward and then back up, and it's just working on that rotator cuff there. The weight I'm using here is a 4 kilo weight. Hopefully that's not too challenging. If you need to reduce, more than welcome to. So going down, controlling it, and back up again. And try to keep that control on the way down, and then driving back up. This is the arm that I just used for my power Ls, so it's power raises. So I'm really feeling it in the same arm, going from one exercise to the next. So if you feel like you'd like to switch arms, alternate, that's fine. 4, 5. I'm trying to keep my elbow at a right angle as much as possible. Oh, oof. 10th rep really took it out of me then. So yeah, be mindful of the weight. If you need to drop the weight so that you're maintaining the form, totally fine. That's why I've got a collection of weights here. It's very hard for me to know what weight range is appropriate for you. Only that, you try to follow the rep ranges so that you have correct form, and then accommodate with the weight relative to those. So if you're struggling to make 3 Powells with 4 kilos, drop the weight. Drop the weight so you can get at least 6 clean reps. Same with the Cuban rotations. If 4 kilos, you don't even make 2 without really dropping your form and posture, reduce the weight down. make it easier. Even just, if it's a heavy water bottle or something like that, so that you can do it with good form, that's appropriate. Cool, I'm going to try on the opposite side now. Yeah, this arm's definitely a little bit easier since you got to rest. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, popping the weight plates down. We're going to lay on our back. We're going to do hip circles. I couldn't think of a better name for this. So the name, it is what it is. Essentially, you're going to try and draw circles with your toes or perhaps your knees as a regression. And it is deceptively challenging. So please come in with an open mind, but also with a sort of a learning approach. So first thing I'm going to do is show you how to draw circles with just our knees while working with our circles. So I have one knee up, I have one knee extended. I rotate my knees. Now I'm in a frog position here. And they've changed positions. So I've drawn a somewhat halo or a circle around my abdomen using my knees. I switch positions. Now I'm back at the start. Drawing a circle with my knees. Switching positions. Back at the start. Let's go around again. Drawing a circle. Switch positions. So we've completed 3. Let's draw another circle. Back to frog position. Switch. 4. Your legs should be moving at the same time to increase your coordination, your proprioception, but also the challenge. If I only just move one leg at a time, it's too easy. Now we've done 5 reps and we're back at the start. We're going to switch position to the opposite side, drawing a circle with my knees, out and around. Switch position, 1. Now you might feel like your hips are in some kind of meat grinder and clicking, click, 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 click. Yes, that's happening to me as well. Happens to most people. 3, 4, 5. Cool. So from here, we're also going to do 5 leg extensions so we can hold on to an anchor point above us if we need. Cool. Legs off the ground. And all we're going to do, whoops, need to push this up a little bit more. Cool. Bring our legs into our chest and extend back out. Bring our legs in and up to our chest and extend back out. Squeezing our bum, driving our knees and our heels together. 3, 4, 5. Cool, and that's the 5 leg extensions. So we're going to complete that round again. We're going back to our Powell raises on the bench. I'm going to use a 4 kilo weight. That was challenging enough for me. I'm going to start with my left side. Cool, hips up, trying to keep my shoulder here locked down, pressing down this way to the floor. My arm locked out completely. Opening up and coming back down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Cool. Swapping over to the opposite side here. Cool, hips up, lock my shoulder down, nice and straight arm, firm grip on the weight that I'm using, and raise up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Cool. 6 reps down. What I forgot to do last time, alternate sides. So whatever side you started with the power raises first. It's online if you like, Dan. Instead of having to take a photo, you can get it all online. Cool. The power raises. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Feels much easier alternating sides rather than doing same sides back to back. So do be mindful of that so you're not fatiguing one side too much. 9, 10. Cool. Popping your weight plate down. Hip circles. Now we're drawing a circle with our knees. People get a little bit confused with this. I'm not sure why so much. I know it's a new exercise. It doesn't take too much thinking. If you can visualize your knees drawing a circle, that's usually the greatest or the most helpful part of advice for this. But legs need to move in unison. Okay, so I'm drawing a circle with my knees. I come to frog position. I keep moving in the direction that I started, and then I simply switch position. I start to draw a circle. And switch position. Knees are drawing a circle. Coming around. 4. 5. 'Cool. Switch. Then we're going to switch back. Boom. Now we're drawing opposite direction. Knees going out in unison. Frog position in the middle. Keep moving through. Lots of clicking and cracking going through our hips. That's okay. Around. Back to start switching over. Going around. Switching over. Going around. Oh no, I lost track of how many reps I'm doing. Let's say that was 3, 4, 5. Cool. From here, grabbing our anchor point above our head, and 5 slow leg extensions. Lifting our heels off the ground, squeezing our bum, knees together, heels together, bringing our knees up to our chest. Good. And then carefully and slowly extending out you need to break up these reps because there's lots of abdomen work going on, that's fine. Try to avoid having a big gap behind your back. Try to flatten your back by tucking your pelvis forward. That will make your heels come off the ground, and then see if you can maintain a flat back through all of these leg extensions. And 5. Cool. Gonna go back to our rail raises. We're not gonna worry about this end bit here. I'm just gonna give them some homework instead. Because these ones need a lot of detail, so it's probably better that I just go over the detail a bit more. Cool, so we're gonna try and get through 5 rounds of these exercises. Here at the moment, at this part of the month in our cycle, we're currently in a deload session, so we're trying to work on more rehabilitative, mobility-focused exercises, strengthening the joints, tendons, ligaments that need more time to grow. But also with these exercises, your hips should be very nice. We've warmed up our wrists. So you can also play with things that perhaps you've been working on at home or working on in the gym here. So like handstands or hanging and other things. But be mindful that this class is a setup so that you've followed a bit of a cycle through more of the strength exercises. And now this week, we're coming into a deload. We work on some of the more slower material, more recovery-based material, and then you can play with the strength skills. We're not trying to drill them with sets and reps, just a slight amount of play so that you get to experience what it's like. And then next cycle or next month when we come back through, we have that those new strengths, we've set a new benchmark. Cool. So I'm going to do this one more time with you. I hope that you should be able to get through 5 rounds of this. It's not too challenging. Cool. So. Cool. 6 on that side. We're going to do 6 on this side. Trying to keep my shoulder depressed, locked down, really squeezing my lats in this position. 3, 4, 5, 6. So all my own material, Dan, so you might not be used to any of it. So now we're going on to Cubans, 10 reps here. Two. 3, 4, 5. Whoop, almost lost my angle there. Keep your angle nice and tight. 6. I just realized I've done the same arm twice back to back, and that's why it's harder. 7, 8, 9, 10. Ooh, had to work with that one. Oh, over to the opposite side. Almost at the end of this. Not for you though. You guys have got another set to go through at least. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oof, awesome. Hip circles. Cool. Drawing a circle with our knees, coming out into frog position. Legs moving in unison, pointing the toes, make them like nice and pretty. Good, up to the top and switch. Two. 3, 4, 5. We're going to swap. Oops, 4, 5. Swap into the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're going to go straight into our leg extensions. Knees up. Extend out. Squeeze your bum. Heels together, knees together. I don't actually need the anchor point for this. But if you prefer to use an anchor point overhead to help you get that little lift, that's more than fine. 5. 6. Awesome. So you're going to perform 1 to 2 more rounds of that. I would like to say 2, but just go for a feel. Like I said, here in the gym we follow a cycle of about 4 to 5 weeks where we work on strength, progressively building that strength, and then towards the 5th and 6th week of that cycle we do a deload. We reduce everything down. We start working on stuff that might have been inflamed, the inflammation, and we try to reduce it so that next cycle when we come back we've made a slight increase in our benchmark or our standard in progression, and then from there we build, go back down again, and then we've got a slightly new progression base. So like I said, 1 to 2 more rounds of these exercises. If you'd like to revisit the exercises from earlier, that's fine. Then on the material that we've already gone through before, you can play a little bit with your elbow levers or handstands or flag work or planche work. But yeah, do it as a bit of a play rather than strength drilling, okay? And that's all from me, and thanks very much to my partner in crime, Gary.
Thank you.
There he is. He's been, sorry,
Just to the side there.
just to the side. I haven't involved him that much because I've been trying to get through all the material, but that's us out for this week, and we'll see you again soon.
All right. Thank you, guys. Catch you next time.